What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the YouTube video. If you're new here, my name is Asher, and today we're going to be talking about, is FIFO worth the money? Now, there's this hype, there's this excitement, there's sometimes a bit of propaganda about FIFO, and as someone that has worked FIFO, or did work FIFO for 2 years, nearly 3 years, worked all over Australia, different jobs, I'm going to tell you my honest experience and tell you whether it's worth it, because you're probably watching this video, trying to do as much research as possible and see what it's actually like. Okay, so first let me give you a bit of backstory of my story and how it all came and how I started with FIFO. So I left school, I wanted to make a lot of money, I was ambitious, I was hungry to get started in life, and all my mates were going and doing a trade. Okay, that's great, good on them. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something a little bit, different. So I was working in a trade, and I said, you know what, I'm not earning enough money. I'm living week to week. This sucks. I then said, okay, I'm going to go out to FIFO, but I was living in Queensland, okay, which is, if you don't know, is on the other side, was on one side of Australia, on the right side, and Perth is the only really place to do FIFO, or the best place to do FIFO, and that's on the left side, okay, on the west. So I said, okay, I need to get over there somehow. But I started applying to roles. And at this time, this was peak COVID, and you couldn't really get over there. And I actually landed a role as a driller's offsider. And I had to kind of lie, we'll say. But I had to get from Queensland to Perth for this role, which was a whole different story. I could do a whole YouTube video about it. But anyway, I drove over there through the border. I was like a cowboy. I got there. I was literally homeless, bro. I was working FIFO, and I started as a driller's offsider. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was something different. It was incredible, and I did that for 2.5 years. Now, what I'll say is, FIFO is, at the end of the day, it's a job. Okay, it's not a holiday. It's not a go up there and you eat good food and you'll hang out with your mates. It's fucking work, bro. All right, you're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna work more and harder than you've ever worked in your entire life. Okay, one thing I learned was that you have to be very mentally strong. Okay, you have to sit there with yourself in your own thoughts for hours, man, hours. And so when I was underground, I put some videos up, but you're underground for 12 hours, maybe 11.5 hours. And it's so loud because the drill's running, things are all moving, and we're working on a drill rig, that you can't really talk. You can't have normal conversations unless you're yelling. So really, you don't talk. You use hand signals. You know, go, okay, come look at this. We got two, shit like that. Okay, so you're basically just you're in your own head the whole day. Okay, the whole shift, and that's a long time to be in your own head for 12 hours. We also didn't get lunch breaks. We also didn't have toilets. Okay, now say that's illegal or whatever, but we didn't really give a fuck. If you can eat, then you can eat. If you can't eat, then you can't eat. As simple as that. I did do entire shifts where I wouldn't even eat for 12 hours, and then I'd eat a massive breakfast and a massive dinner. That was it. Now, for entry-level roles, my biggest piece of advice and probably the lowest hanging fruit that you can go and an opportunity that you can jump straight on is what I did, and that is a driller's offsider. Basically, I would say to you, do underground, because the heat in WA is fucked, okay? At least underground is shaded. It can be nice and cool. It sits around between like 20 to 30 degrees, and even then you can't work above 32 degrees underground. Okay, now it doesn't seem like a lot, but underground gets very hot and humid and stuffy and sometimes hard to breathe. But I would say underground's better because on the surface you're working and it's like 40-50 degrees. That would be the lowest hanging fruit, and the lowest and the best opportunity to jump on straight away would be a driller's offsider. It's hard work. It's hard work, and if you're a chick, I would definitely suggest for you to do either cleaning, truck driving, but also even give drills offsider a crack. Also, mining is really good, and simply to actually land a role, you would search FIFO no experience or mining no experience and look at those roles. Now, in the terms of actual money that you can be earning, yes, you can be earning between $100,000 to $130,000 a year, but basically, as an entry-level person, very rarely will you exceed the 100K mark. And why I say this is because the time that people, what they do is they say, oh, I'm making $3,000 a week. So then they times that by 52. But you're not working 52 weeks of the year, are you? So you have time off. So really it goes down to about 80, maybe $90,000 a year. And then after tax, it goes down to 60, maybe $70,000 a year. So then you have to really weigh it up. Is that really worth the time away from family, the time away from friends, the time away from living your life? Ask yourself that. And realistically, you're only earning a couple extra dollars than what you'll be earning in town. Yeah, and by the time that you come home and you have your week off, you have your 2 weeks off, you have your 5 days off, you're going to be knackered. Okay, and you're also probably going to spend a lot of the money that you earned out there. That's the other thing. And that's what I'm talking about with the propaganda of FIFO. People saying that, and people saying, oh, go out to FIFO, it's going to be the best. You know, it's going to be all and end all. But really, it is a grind, okay? And from my experience, there are a lot other ways to make money. Which brings me to my next part is the exit plan. The exit plan that you want to have for FIFO should be in a couple of years, okay? You don't want to be in FIFO for over 15 years, all right? You don't want to get trapped there, because that's going to suck. So you want to have maybe 5, maybe 10 years of solid FIFO time and then have a good exit plan. So this is where you go in, you get your houses, you get your investment properties, you get your assets, you build that foundation, and then when you do leave, you have that, okay? Now, this is where a lot of people struggle. They go, oh, well, if I leave FIFO, then I'm not going to be able to earn as good money ever again. And that's very far from the truth, okay? I left FIFO just over 2 years ago, and I've been making more money than all of my FIFO career. Anyway, so, and then the next question is, well, what is the exit plan? How do you exit FIFO safely, responsibly, and not get pulled back in because you have to afford things? The way that I did it was I learned a high income skill. So I learned a high income skill that was going to print me more money than working out in FIFO, and that was sales and marketing, but predominantly sales. Then I went into high ticket sales and selling expensive digital products, which were able to give me an average income of $1,000 or $500 to $1,000 per day from my laptop, being able to close deals. This is just from learning one skill that took me about a month to learn. So the way that I did it was I transitioned while I was still working, then I transitioned into doing online sales. So I had that smooth transition, and now being able to earn what I want, wherever I want. I can live in Bali and make money. I can live at home and make money, and I can enjoy my life. I can choose my own hours, and I'm not back underground working 12 hours a day, okay? So that was my exit plan. Now, if you are interested in that, there's a link in the description for you to help you get started. But please, if you're looking to get in FIFO, have an exit plan ready to go. But that's it from me. I also have another video available on how to get your first FIFO role. So go check that one out. But that's it. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. See ya.